A little buggy. I like coming out here and having a smoke at Big Valley here at twilight. It's a little less, a little earlier than twilight, but the sun's gone down. Smoking some Havana Daydream from Duggo in a cargo hold. I was going to go and smoke with a friend of mine, but he's doing something else tonight, so I'll just have a smoke all by myself out here at Big Valley and watch the evening fall. Smoking some more of Doug's cargo hold Havana Daydream. Oh yeah, I'm liking this. In a vintage Moormark pipe, which is custom built-ish. Bulldog Moormark imported briar. So I was over at Big Valley last night, having my smoke, my twilight pipe smoke. And that was fun. Uh, Makes me always think of Jim Foster, though, and doing a little homage to him. He was 52 when that guy murdered him, who's now in Western State, spending the rest of his life at taxpayer expense. Some things just aren't very fair. But there's Jim, big hearted, nice guy, and boom, he's gone, you know, due to the irrational act of a crazy guy. So, so a lesson there is, I'm sure there's more than one, that you need to do what you want to do now. And that's kind of occurring to me as I get a little older, too. It's like I I took most of the day off today and take advantage of a sunny day and filled up the woodshed, so the woodshed is full. But what if I had a stroke? What if I don't know, you name it, became unable to live here? It's just kind of a high effort place to live, which was kind of the intent all along, keep you active. But, you know, not that you should judge every decision you make based on that, but it's a possibility, you know. So anyway, whenever I'm out of Big Valley, I always kind of think that, it's like, yeah, I should just make sure you do the stuff you like to do. And there's always stuff you don't like to do that you have to do to pay the bills or whatever. But it's important to do things the way you want and do them. Doug had suggested maybe adding a little, Doug Owen had suggested adding a little Latakia to this. And I know I've got a little tin of McClellan's blending Latakia somewhere in there. Couldn't find it. So this is as is. It's a Cornell and yeah, it's Cornell and deal. And compared to just sticking a chunk of cigar down in your pipe, and this would be a good pipe to do it. It's just about the right size. This is a full blend, but it's less. Knock your socks off, kind of like a cigar can be. And then a little piece of property here in town came up for sale. Single guy, older, a lot like my place here. Kind of a rustic, characterful place. So he passed away. Apparently he developed cancer, something like that. I never knew him. But he was kind of an artist, and so his place was characterful. And so now it's for sale, and the asking price is great. But for most people, it's probably a scrape. For me, it wouldn't be. But you have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? You know? When do I have pretty much everything I want and just enjoy it instead of, constantly acquiring more and more and more? So. And at this point in my life, I'm not interested in a big mortgage or anything. So, or in a mortgage at all. And where the house is located, it's within the sewer district boundary and so forth. So right off the bat, you've got, $210 or $15 a month just in sewer and water. So, which I don't have here. So, anyway, when is enough enough? Do we all just keep striving to acquire new stuff, bigger, better? I don't know. I don't think I am. Everybody's different, though. You gotta do it your way. So, I noticed last night this Havana Daydream makes a lot of smoke. It's interesting how different tobaccos do that. Maybe it's the burley. I think it's probably mostly burley. It just burned right down to gray ash. And kind of a real dry smoke, even though the tobacco's moist enough. But it's good. Thanks, Doug, for sharing that. Yeah, I like smoking these vintage, I was going to say American pipes, but it doesn't have to be an American pipe. But something that, somebody smoked and probably there's some discoloration around the rim. So it was probably a well-loved pipe. I think I cleaned it up, as I remember, a bit. I like the rustication. And it's not quite as wide of a bowl, the inner chamber there. So it kind of smokes better than, say, a BP Jum or something like with a really wide burning chamber. That wide, shallow shape just doesn't. Has to be kind of dry tobacco and tobacco that burns nice, which is often a burley blend or a codger blend. I think this is a little bit of a happier medium. But you can't argue with that BP Jum look, I'll tell you. There have been some appearing on eBay for ridiculous prices, like $240, $250. That is ridiculous. But then I would have said $310,000 or $315 for a kind of a wreck of a house on a little acreage that's kind of hard to get to. You know, well over $250,000. We get numb to the new normal. In a lot of ways. And it's human nature to accommodate, but it's kind of crazy at the same time. Mm. Yeah, this is honestly plenty enough for me.